Socially, I'm glad to see all the masks out there. I'm downwind of you, so I'm safe over here. Can everybody hear me? I've got a couple more people. Let's let them get in here. And I think I've walked around and individually talked to most of you all, but if not, I'll try to catch you. And if I don't reference you, and I should during the presentation, definitely throw something at me. But it's hard to see who's here with all the masks. As we get started, first, welcome and thank you all for joining us today. This is a special occasion for Frederick Water, and we're pleased that everybody's here to participate in this kickoff. I'm Eric Lawrence. I'm the Executive Director for Frederick Water, and I certainly, on behalf of the Board of Directors, as well as our Frederick Water team and staff members, we appreciate you all being here. Like anytime you do something special, we always want to recognize key people that have participated. In this project, because it's been going on for 5 years, we have a number of people, a number of organizations that have contributed to where we are to help us get here. So right off the bat, we've got our Board of Directors. Our chairman, Gary Oates, is out of town right now, unfortunately, so he couldn't join us. And I see Marty Dilge is here, our one of our board members. Hank Sliwinski is in here somewhere. And I'm Tom Simon, I know, could not join us, and I don't know if Stan Crockett's here or not with these masks. I don't think I've seen them yet. But they certainly appreciate you all being here. We also, we've gotten a lot of support both locally and at the state level from our representatives, and we certainly appreciate everyone. Our delegation to Richmond, Senator Vogel's office, and our delegates, we appreciate them supporting us. And then locally, we've got a lot of support for everything we have done from the Board of Supervisors. And I see we've got Chuck DeHaven, our chairman of the Board of Supervisors here. We got Judy McClan Slaughter, which this is actually her district, so we're pleased that she came to represent her district here. I'm not sure, did I see Dave show up? Yeah, we got a new Board of Supervisor member in the back there. Thanks for coming, Dave. So we've got a lot of local support. When we get down to this project itself, we have engineers from Wiley Wilson and Arcadis that are being represented today. Arcadis is the group that actually has designed the treatment plant, and Wiley Wilson is designing the quarry intake. So we've got a couple different engineers involved and have them here. And I guess the last group, I'm saying last, but there's two other groups I wanted to thank. As we adventure on this project, we have Orders Construction Company is our lead contractor. They are responsible for building all phases of this project, and so we certainly appreciate them going forward with us and attending today. And we thank all of their subs from everywhere, from the tunnel team, the tunnel engineers, the pipeline design, and all the subs they bring in. It's a significant project for us. It's a significant project for Orders, and we're pleased that everybody's coming together to help make this, realize this. And then the last group that I certainly don't want to forget is the partnership that we developed over the past year with Carmoose. And I'll give you a little bit of background in a few minutes on that partnership, but most importantly, we have developed an excellent partnership. We're forging forward together, and as a result of that partnership, we have a lot more opportunities at Frederick Water to store water, to obtain the raw water, and deliver a final product to the community. So I think it's important to recognize that partnership that's been forged. With that said, I want to give you some background. This project that we're standing here, while this is real groundbreaking, the reality is we started this over 5 years ago in 2015. Back in the fall of 2015, Frederick Water created a planning committee and tasked them with looking at our water supply, looking at our water sources. You know, as an organization, we treat water, we deliver water to our customers, we accept the wastewater, we treat the wastewater, and we discharge it back into the environment. And when you look at the water side of things, we have two water plants, and we purchased water from the city of Winchester. And in 2015, the board of directors had the foresight to say, let's put together a planning committee, let's look at our water needs for the future, let's look at what we need 10, 20, 30 years out, and prepare for it. Well, a couple things came out of that. not only did we realize looking 20, 30 years out that we needed to double the amount of water that we provided to our community, but we also had some really immediate issues. We had some litigation with our Deal water treatment plant with the town of Stevens City, in the town of Stevens City. We had a lease termination that was a couple years out with the Anderson plant, and we saw the city of Winchester raising their water rates. So our 3 water sources were being challenged. So when the board of directors and the planning committee decided that not only did we need to double the amount of water that we had, but we had to secure a water source, we ventured down in what was called the Opequon Water Supply Plan. We looked at all the water opportunities, the raw water sources available to us, and determined that the Opequon Creek was the untapped option. It was quite a significant undertaking to think about it 5 years ago, and I'm pleased to say that a lot has happened and it's gotten us here to today. But what we did is to kick off that Opequon Water Supply Plan, we tapped Arcadis and their expert engineering services to go through a long process to secure a joint permit application, which fully enabled us to withdraw water from the Opequon Creek. We then tasked Arcadis with designing that new treatment plant. We tasked Tim Stowe and his engineering group with designing the pipelines to connect the creek to the plant. And we finally got that all fully designed and approved, I want to say winter 2019, about 2 years ago. And we said, okay, actually, this was a year ago. Man, things fly. So we said, okay, it's ready to go out to bid. It's ready for construction. Well, then about the same time, we learned in 2019 that we resolved our issues with the town of Stevens City, and the Deal water plant was no longer a litigation issue. It was actually, we owned the plant, we owned the 3 quarries, we own 750 million gallons of quarry storage. So that was resolved. In discussions, so then a year ago from now, we're ready to put this new Opequon Creek water system out for construction. And then we come to terms with Carmoose with our new agreement, which gives us access to nearly 4 billion gallons of quarry storage. And that essentially is what we're seeing behind us. So then we had to shift change. We said, okay, do we still want to use that same plant that was designed for the Opequon Creek, or should we redesign something that can treat the quarry water? We have a lot of history with quarry water. It's a much cleaner product. I can speak for our operators who would prefer to treat the quarry water, so they were pleased that the Carmoose deal had materialized. So we went back to our friends at Arcadis and said, okay, let's redesign the plant so it's ready for the quarry water. And that was only about 9 months ago where we got that point. So where we are today is we redesigned the water plant, recognizing we have access to the quarries to use that water source. The new plant that we're ready to break ground on is a membrane plant. We're using the Paul membrane system, highly advanced, highly advanced, but one of the nice things about it is it has the ability to run 24 hours a day if needed, and it doesn't have to be manned 24 hours a day, which is a nice change. Our operators, they want to work these plants, but nobody wants to work them in the middle of the night. So this new plant is designed that if it needs to, it can run 24 hours a day and be operated remotely if necessary. Something that certainly we like as an organization because it makes life easier for our operators. But that's where we are today. We have a plant that is ready for the 21st century. It's an 8 million gallon a day treatment plant, which is larger than anything we've had. And it's all technologically advanced. And I can share with you if it wasn't yesterday, it was Friday, we received all the construction permits from the Virginia Department of Health. So it is fully authorized to break ground on, and it is perfect timing because that's what we're here to do today. Now, I'll give you a quick overview. Where we stand, this is an 80-acre parcel we purchased about 4 years ago, and we didn't need 80 acres. So in working with Frederick County, we provided a site for the convenience center, and then the last 2 years, we built the Stonewall Ballpark and made that available to the county. So while we bought this property for the water plant, we've done a couple little projects, and now we're ready to break ground on the actual purpose of the property, which is the water plant. Now, with that said, I want to turn it over to Charlie Miller. He's our Superintendent of Construction, and he's going to give you an overview as to how this thing's going to be operational in 13 months?
10 months.
10 months, there we go.
Orders? 10? 13 months. No pressure. All right, thank you, Eric. Like I said, my name is Charlie. I'm going to be taking this project to the finish line. I've been handed the reins from an individual that worked very hard through the permitting and design process. I sound a little partial because I'm talking about my wife, Chelsea. She put a lot into this the past 4 years, so I'm glad that I get the opportunity to steer it to the home finish. I've been asked to speak on the path forward, and with a collection of 280 sheets of drawings and over 4,000 pages of specifications, you may think that, oh yeah, it's a very clear path to the finish line. It's very clear, just finish it and follow these documents. Well, anybody that's worked in the field knows that as soon as you get in the field, its own challenges will arise. And I just have been working with these teams represented by the organization, the individuals that are representing these organizations, and so far I am very impressed with the caliber of competency and commitment that these individuals on these teams have displayed, and I look forward to working with them throughout the project. Basically, in a nutshell, this project is pumps, membrane filters, tanks, and a whole lot of pipe connecting all that. But if you look at it, there's two main contracts, and one of them is the treatment plant, which Orders has, and the other is the quarry intake, which Orders has. And in those two main areas of work, there are 5 areas that can be worked concurrently. There is the treatment plant, the western pipes that connects our finished water and sanitary to our distribution and collection system. There is a pipeline, 2 pipes that are connected to the treatment plant to the quarry. There is the structure in the quarry, which is a 300-foot tunnel, 10 foot wide, that is going to go from the base of the quarry back straight, and that's going to be hit with 3 20-inch bores, vertical bores that the pumps will sit in and carry water over here. And then there's the actual pump station that will sit up on the top of the rim of the quarry. Snyder Environmental has already begun work. They are sub of Orders. They've begun work on the western pipe. And once they free up resources, they will switch their resources over to the eastern pipe, the interconnection between the quarry and the treatment plant. Orders will begin with drilling and blasting and excavation of the treatment site of the building. It's a big building, 220 feet by a lot. It's a big building. And so there's a lot of deep footers and a lot of deep pipe that needs to go in. They need to get that slab poured and the building erected by the end of November. This is a very, very critical milestone to meet, as it will allow the installation and startup of all the equipment throughout the worst of the winter months. And if they're not able to do that, we wouldn't be able to meet our timeline of April 15th, 2022 substantial completion. So once they get everything started up, we will need VDH approval to put the treated water into our distribution system. Once we achieve that, that is substantial completion, and Frederick Water will take over the operation of the plant. Then Orders will have 6 months to make it pretty, do the asphalt, the landscaping, the HVAC, all that. So they have until I believe it's October of 2022 to complete that portion of it. At the same time, we have Bradshaw Construction, who is another sub of Orders. They are tunneling experts. They do tunnels up and down the East Coast, all over the country, and I believe they've done some global work as well. They will begin construction in the next month or so of the 300-foot, 10-foot diameter tunnel from the base of the quarry. It will go through the solid limestone back, and that will get hit with the 20-inch vertical turbine pump shafts. So once that's done, they will start to install the pumps and connect it, and we'll be able to get raw water over here to treat by the time it's needed in early 2022. So that is the path forward as of today. Will the path need adjustment next week? Probably. Will the paths need more adjustment a month from now? Definitely. But the destination is going to remain the same. The destination is going to be that we deliver a project safely, on time, and on budget. We deliver a project that honors the service and dedication to the namesake, Hank. And we also deliver a project that will serve this community for generations to come. So I thank you all for your support throughout this endeavor. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Hank, come up here, please. We've got a unique situation here at Frederick Water, and the namesake for our new water plant, it's the Henry F. Sliwinski water plant, and it's actually named after this gentleman to my left. We fondly refer to him as Hank, and Hank has been with Frederick Water, or was with Frederick Water, for 43 years. Hank joined us before we owned a water plant. Hank was part of the design, construction, and operation team for both the Deal Water Treatment Plant and the Anderson Water Treatment Plant. And I think when Hank realized we were getting ready to build a third plant, he decided, 43 years, I think I've worked enough, I'm not building another plant. Well, I will say, from a staff perspective, I enjoyed working with Hank. Everyone who has worked with Hank has enjoyed working with Hank. A lot of Hank's treatment operators, because Hank was responsible for both the water and wastewater treatment sections of our organization, they fully support him. A lot of his staff is still here. But to me, the best thing, the most exciting thing, is when the Frederick Water Board of Directors, and Hank is a board member, but he was not a board member when the Board of Directors decided to name this plant after him. So not only did he serve 43 years as one of our lead staff members to make sure quality water was provided to the community, we took his name, put it on the building, and then he stepped up and got appointed to the Board of Directors to continue to serve this organization, to continue to serve this community, and ensure that we have adequate supplies, we have high quality water, and that our customers are satisfied with the products we have. But with that said, you have some words would you like to share before we break into this dirt pile?
Well, Eric, I would just like to tell you that I'm humbled and honored beyond words for this opportunity. And Eric thanked everybody in the planet almost for this project, but believe me, when Eric came on board, there was a need for water, and the prospects for water were bleak. There wasn't a lot of water at the time, and I was very surprised that Eric even took the job, because it was a monumental task. And this plant is probably going to be here for the next 50 years at least. And between Eric and Gary Oates, I am stunned and amazed at what they've accomplished in 5 years. It is an unbelievable piece of work. So I want to thank Eric and Gary Oates for what they've done and their foresight. They are truly visionary men, and they accomplished an unbelievable piece of work. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Hank. Hank, would you like an honor?
Sure.
Marty, do you want to come join us? No? Okay. Grab a spot, Hank. Smile for the camera. There we go. All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Hank. And we're excited about the future. I think Charlie, we did it tongue-in-cheek. We have 13 months to get this plant in operation. I like how Charlie came over and said we got 10 months. So orders construction, as I've been telling your team, you got 9 months now. I mean, time's being wasted. Let's jump on this. But we're excited about the future. We're excited about the next 12, 13 months. And we're excited about being able to provide for this community. And thank you all for coming today. Thank you.